Welcome to the Market Like a Coach podcast. I'm Angela Nauman, a master writing teacher and marketing coach. Here we dive into stories and strategies to refine your messaging, make your program shine, and turn your audience into raving fans. Ready to elevate your coaching game and build a thriving business with heart? Let's get started, my friend. It's time to market like a coach. All right. Hey, my friends. Have you ever felt like your stories just don't hit the mark? And that's what we're going to explore today is how to expand your storytelling arsenal so you are not stuck just sharing transformational stories. So, in the last episode, I shared with you my idea about using storytelling to have more compelling content where you will help actually sell your coaching from your content and why we need to do that. So you can go back and listen to that if you missed it. You want to make sure you have that basis down. So, but today, what I want to ask first is just raise your hand if you have ever heard, just go share a transformational story. So I know I had been in that place where I'd heard that constantly. And I'd honestly really had been in a place where I just thought, you know what? Um, I'd been taught this. Oh, just use your client attracting energy. And if you write this content while you're in this good vibe, high vibe, good energy, then clients are just going to come. And first of all, I don't believe that. I don't believe that and I know that because I've actually made money and signed clients when I wasn't in a wonderful, good mood, good energy place, right? Clients can come even when we are in the process of learning and growing and we have our own messy mind. And thank God for that, right? So I spent hours though trying to be in this good energy, writing copy full of value, like kind of like what I talked about in the last episode. But I struggled to convert clients. And it was only then I really kind of found myself going, okay, I'm telling these transformational stories and I'd gotten some clients from them, but there has to be more to this. And then I heard one of my coaches actually say something along the lines that, you know what, just to what were we talking? We were talking about something along the lines of I was sharing how I'd had some no's in some consults, and she was sharing about what she does when she gets no's, and she goes and tells a story to answer their objections. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And I went back and I wrote out every objection I could think that they would give me, and I started writing stories to go with these objections. And when I did this, that's when my brain started going like, okay, so there's transformational stories and then there's objections, stories that answer objections. And I'm like, okay, well, what other stories are there? Are there other stories I should be telling that I've never thought about? And it was in that I started really going, all right, so, when I tell these transformational stories, like where are they in this part of this, in the buyer's journey, the client journey, buyer's journey, like, marketers would say, as coaches, we'd say the client journey. Um, and then I was like, okay, I know objections. That's right. That's towards the end, right? Like a brand new person in my audience does not need to hear stories about objections because they don't have any yet. They're not even looking at us. They don't even notice us. They don't, right? It's different. And it got me really thinking, okay, well, what is my client's journey? What is that experience like for them? And I thought, well, they come into my audience, they're a stranger. Maybe they're coming in, let's just go through Facebook because I love to be on Facebook. They come into Facebook, maybe they send me a friend request and I accept. Okay. Maybe somewhere in there they see some content and they start developing some know, like, and trust with me. And then maybe they join my Facebook group. Now in my Facebook group, or maybe they join my email list, one of the two, right? It could go either way. They join my Facebook group and they get exposed to different content there. They join my email list and they get different content there, right? Because I don't just like the same post I put in my Facebook group doesn't go into my email list the same day, right? I have different things. And I have sequences, right? So new people in my email gets certain emails. So I've started like, okay, they're going on a journey here. And then if they come to an event, they hear certain stories, and then they get an email sequence when they register for that event, and they get email sequence after the event. And I'm like, okay. And I'm telling different stories along the way. I have a different purpose along the way. Same thing online. And then maybe then after my event, I'm posting certain types of content. And I realized I did certain things. And my clients don't just need to hear transformational stories, and they don't just need to hear objection stories. And I really started mapping out for myself like what their journey looked like and brainstorming what kinds of content they needed to hear along the way, because they're basically in different stages. And what I look at it is this, like, they start off as strangers, right? They're real meh about us as a stranger. They don't care about us. They don't know if they even like us. They could give, they could give too. So here, I need to warm them up. I need to help them get to know me. I need to help them decide if they like me even. It's also where I decide, do I like them? Right? Because I don't have to be friends with anybody who I don't like. Then it's in that stage where we're starting to build connection. Maybe we're friends. Now we're just friends. Like it's one human to another. We like each other. We're friendly. We start building a connection. Maybe we realize we have things in common. And then I'm okay. Well, what kind of things do they need to know there? What kind of business things? What kind of personal things? See, it makes a difference. And then we can go from that stranger to that friend to a prospect. Well, prospects need to hear something else because prospects are actually interested. Prospects have questions in their mind. And that's where we do different things. And that's where we're solving problems and shifting beliefs and doing some more coachy type things, right? And then we have people who become clients or people in the client stage. Maybe they haven't signed yet, but that's where we're going to go over there, and we're really shifting completely into the role of their coach. We're answering their objections. We're challenging the thoughts in their head. Right? So there's this place where we take them from stranger to friend to prospect to client. And when we do that, the types of content along the way change. The types of stories that we tell change. Our calls to action change. Think about it. The person who is the prospect who's thinking about becoming a client, they're going to take up calls to action that a stranger's not. This is logical, friends. This is just logic. This is not about any kind of sitting in good energy. This is just strategic, logical, strategic understanding of the process your client is going to go through. And here's what I want to tell you, my friends, it is your job to guide your clients through that journey. It is not their job. It is not their job. It's yours. And so when you realize you have, let's say you've added a bunch of new friends in the last 3 months, and you're like, I got a ton of new people, and maybe you're noticed your engagement has gone down, right? And so what's happening? Well, the problem is that you are not speaking to the new people in your audience. Or maybe you haven't added any new people and you've been nurturing this same audience for 2 years, but you continually put out content about get to know me and it's real soft and you're not really talking about your program. Well, guess what? They're primed for information on how you solve problems. They're primed for those transformations. They're primed for vision. They're primed to shift their beliefs and more direct calls to action. So we, depending on who's in our audience, and honestly, we always have people in each stage in the audience, but depending who is there, it's our job to guide them. And there's strategies we learn, and that's what I teach inside my inner circle is how do we move them through there? What content moves them? What actions move them? Right? And so we have to learn that. And so when you are not treating people uniquely for where they are on the client journey, right? The problem is most people don't treat people different. They treat everybody the same. They assume everybody's in the same place in the client journey, and they're not. And so we have to move them. And when we don't, basically, friend, you lower the trust. Then there's people you're not building trust with. If you're only promoting, then you're not building trust. If you're only doing soft, gentle, get to know you kind of stuff, then you're not ever making an offer to help people. And we have to do that or we leave clients underserved. And I want you to hear me that. Like, this is really thinking about it as a coach, then you're underserving your clients. Then that means there might be clients out there that God has put in your path and you're not serving them. And so they're looking to someone else. So the thing we have to do is really simple. We have to start understanding what is the client journey? What is the journey my clients go through? We have to start understanding who's on that journey and what types of content that might need to see, what kinds of stories do they need to hear, what kind of actions might they take. We have to truly understand the journey our future clients are going through. And then as their coach, we have to step into that role of being their guide through that journey. It's not up to them, it is up to us. And if you just think you're going to post and people are going to magically like reach out to you and ask to be in your program, you're wrong. That's why you don't make money from your content. That's why clients don't come in from there. Because different clients need different things and we have to learn, we have to create a strategy. And I would say there's not like this one magic formula because people work their businesses different. Sometimes some people only want to post, some people want to get in conversations going in the DMs and sell there, and other people want to hold events. Some people just want to go live and not do challenge, not do like formal events or anything like that. People work their business differently. I have clients who hold monthly webinars. I have clients who once a quarter do something. And when you do things different, how you line out that client journey can look different. Like, let's just be logical. That looks different. So it really has to be customized to you and how you do it. But the way you do that is first, like, what journey am I taking my audience on over the next quarter? Over the next 90 days, what journey are they going on? And then how do I guide them? What content do I put out? What stories do I tell? What events do I hold? What calls to action do I want to have based off of that client journey? And then we're still going to go back to making sure we're building the trust. We're still going to go back to making sure we're telling the stories and different stories for different stages of that client journey. But it really starts with us as the coach coming to an understanding. So this is why when people come into my inner circle program or even a private client, even when I work with a six-figure client who's made multiple six figures, they've been in business 5, 6, 8 years, 10 years or more, and we still start back with understanding who their client is and what journey their clients takes. Like, niche is not always just who. It's not always like, oh, I help, female entrepreneurs who have brown hair and like to knit. Like, it is not always about being that specific, but it is sometimes about understanding what journey does that person go on? Where are they in the journey? Right. And this is why if you can't say, oh, here are my hottest 5 prospects, it's because you're not even aware of who's in your audience and where they are in that process of becoming a client. Right. And then you can go, okay, when you realize, okay, I have a ton of people, let's say in stage 2 in the friend stage, that means I need to work on moving people from friends into prospects. And what kind of content is going to help do that? What kind of calls to action are going to do that? What actions can I take? And we begin to shift them. That is our job as coaches who market on social media. It is not their job, right? Their job was to show up and scroll today. You are not entitled to their attention. You are not entitled to their engagement. You have to earn that. And that's why we have to be talking to them where they are. which is really interesting because now I know your minds are thinking, well, which stories do I tell where? How do I know who's where? And what is this perfect formula then if because I have people in all four stages. How do I talk to them? There's different strategies for it, friend, based on how you run your business. And I can't answer that perfectly here. That's inside my program, but I will help you. But you can start, friend, by just mapping it out. Just map it out. That's my challenge for you this week is go map out what journey do most of your clients go through from stranger to client. And what do they need to hear along the way? Like, just make it really simple. Don't make this hard. And then start at the beginning of the journey and start guiding people through it. It can be that simple. It can be that simple. And I want to encourage you to let it be that simple. Don't make building your business hard, right? We're not here for that. Building a business is hard enough without us adding to it. So here's what I want to tell you, friends. We talked about that client journey today. You're going to go work on that. You're going to go map that out. You're going to look at and brainstorm different types of content for each stage. In the next episode, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into what to do if you're actually attracting the wrong people. So what if you have this audience full of people and you're like, Angela, every time I get them on the call, they're the wrong people. And here's what I'm going to tell you, my friend. It's not them, it's you. And we're going to talk about it next week. All right, my friend, you are a coach. You get to go and market like one too. Hey, my friends. Thanks for tuning in to the Market Like a Coach podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable and inspiring. Remember, it's all about refining your message and elevating your content game so that you can thrive as a coach. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow coaches. For more tips and strategies and resources, visit me at angelanauman.com.